think this looks pretty convincing as a wooden hut. And welcome back to the channel. So I'm back on House Flipper, super excited. It's been a little while since I've played. I had jumped on, I think yesterday or the day before, to play around a bit with the Halloween stuff. Yeah, I mentioned this in a previous video, but I've just moved home, so if this sounds funny or you can notice background noise and stuff like that at the moment, I do apologise. I will hopefully fix that in some upcoming videos. I've also changed the field of view, and I have fiddled around with the brightness. I don't know if anybody else is noticing this, but I feel it has got quite bright, but the brightness doesn't seem to change the brightness of the sky very much. So I'm going to try it on -2 there. But yeah, so we're back at the abandoned house. Last time we were here, we finished this off, so I'm going to take you inside. I'm super excited to sell this and get on to the next house. So we'll just do a quick tour. I think I probably am going to release a separate like before and after video, just a short video on every house that I do. So this is the living room. And everybody was pretty happy with this. I don't think I've changed much. If you didn't watch the tips and tricks video, then I'll probably put a link in for that. But I added this mirror in, which is obviously just mirroring what's over there. So if you wanted to find out how I did that, watch the tips and tricks video. I've also added some bits and pieces. Again, watch the tips and tricks video for how you do that, but I've added a kettle and a few bits and pieces up there. Don't think I did anything else in this room. Yeah, there's been an update, so I think the lighting maybe has all got a bit brighter or something, I don't know. So yeah, bathroom. Oh, close myself behind the door. We saw this before, so quite a little bathroom. I think maybe I did those toilet rolls onto the top of the toilet, and yeah, not a lot else in this bathroom. And then in the bedroom, I have done a few changes. I've just tidied these away. So actually, since the episode that I made, I did these. I put these baskets on the end here, and I just felt the bed looked a bit like it needed something more. So I've put what I'm hoping kind of looks like a pillow, but it's actually another one of these baskets with some books behind it. You see what I mean? So, and I've used the like gingham pattern on it. So from kind of over here, I think it looks like a pillow. Tell me what you think about that. I'm not entirely sure. And then I actually added the orange from that end of the room back just to this back wall, because I think I got a comment, I can't actually remember where it's from, that's just sort of saying maybe a bit more colour. And I think other than that, I may move the lights, but I think you've seen everything else. Obviously I put the glass door out onto the garden. Right, so time to sell. Obviously this is my first house to sell, so I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. So I bought this for £23,178.07. The house parcel is 944. I think the house parcel maybe is just the whole plot, I guess we would call that in the UK. The house has 36.94 metres cubed, or squared, sorry. And the house has 3 rooms. My room doesn't actually have 3 rooms. Oh yes, it does. It does have 3 rooms. The current budget is £61,808. You've been working on this house for, wow, 8 hours, 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Let's not talk about that too much. Right, so start the auction. A big bedroom, how sweet. So he's offered 30 grand, so that would be cool, that's profit. This is all profit. It's actually just 1 bedroom, perfect. 1 bedroom isn't enough. It's enough for me. So maybe we should get rid of the kids stuff, just on that for future reference. So 36,000 we're up to. I think we're going to negotiate. I don't know how this works really, but it would be cool to get it up to kind of above. Let's just see if we can get an extra 5 grand. The offer is too low. You could sell this house for 5,006 more. Yeah, we're glad to live here. The Jantarts. Thank you, Jantarts. So this is a £24,861.94 profit. So I guess if I was to do this again, I have heard this from other people playing the game actually, about getting rid of the kids stuff. I don't understand what I need this kitchen for, really. Cool. So hurrah! So we're over 100,000. Epic, epic, epic. Right, so let's have a look what else we can buy. So, I know the burned house is actually very, very similar. I think it's actually the same layout as that previous one. So I think we're going to do the camping bungalow. So let's grab this. So this is actually slightly smaller by the looks of it. Yeah, it is. Right, let's buy this. And let's go straight to it. Let's do it. So we could move our office here. Let's have a little look round. So it's a nice kind of blue colour. Is it in exactly the same neighbourhood? Yeah. Bins, I've heard on the grapevine from the house flipper developers. I haven't. This is all a lie, by the way. But the bin men are coming tomorrow. So this guy is ready. The bin men never come. They never come to take the rubbish. It's a little peek in the back. Oh, it's tiny. It's super tiny. So I have a bit of a random idea about this, but about what I'm going to do in this house. Okay, so we have kind of open living room. Actually, it's not terrible layout because it's quite deep. This one, I think, is actually deeper than the last one. So we've got a bathroom to the left as you come in the door. One kind of, I guess, studio bedroom, and then this pokey little kitchen at the back. Right, so we are all clean, and all the rubbish is removed. Oh no, it's not. I have just spotted on the radar there. A couple of little spots. That's it. So randomly, my idea for this, because it's actually mainly because it's called the Camping Bungalow, I'm going to try and do something a bit random. I'm going to try and make this into a log cabin. Pretty much based around the fact that that looks kind of campy. I want to keep that. It's not actually too bad, but it's kind of rusticy, and I think maybe I'll try and keep these as well. I'm not sure about the bits in the kitchen. Although I do quite like that shelf. I don't know what that shelf is made of. So what I need to do in order to do this, or how this works, I mean, if you're seeing this video, and I have probably made it work. So, what my plan is, I think I'm going to do this with a few videos. I've got a bunch of ideas that are like room with a view type things. So I want to make the walls look like they're lined in wood, like a wood cabin. I'm going to block up the windows. And the reason I'm going to block up the windows, I'll sort of explain when I've done it. So let me play around with that for a bit, guys, and I'll show you what I'm kind of working towards. Okay, so this is where I've got to. I think this is actually going to work, which is kind of cool. So basically I've blocked off the windows, and I have and obviously these are paintings, or these are wall arts. So what I did, I'll just show you the different bits I've put together, because the trick is obviously to make it look like there's a window. So what I did was I found this texture, or this texture, and I found some window pieces, some window frames, and then I found some pictures of woodlands that all look roughly the same, and I have put those, assembled those together, added a shadow underneath the windowsill so it looked like it's kind of not flat against the windowsill. And I think probably in the final thing to do to that will be to add another layer, which is like a reflection of the room, in a very soft, opaque, so very very transparent layer, reflecting back into the room, so it looks like it's glass. I think this is starting to come together. I've moved things around a little bit, not too much. I've also created this fireplace, which I'm hoping is kind of convincing as a fireplace. As you can see, I've built it out of the boxes. So if you look at if you come around the sides, you can see it's all made out of the boxes. But so yeah, wooden, brick chimney breast. So that's just in the brick, the walls without the mason perk, and boxes around the edge. Picture of a fireplace in the middle, or a picture of a log burner in the middle. It's not perfect because obviously it looks still quite flat. But then just doing a bit of tiling. I'm not sure about the towels. If they let me know what you think. Obviously these are towels, but it's supposed to look like kind of a border. Not sure if that rocking chair will stay there for now. But yeah, I think it's kind of. I think the thing is, I think I said before, is that it's often the context that gives the thing the meaning, or makes it make sense, I think. So yeah, you don't see the boxes because there's a fireplace, or you see the boxes less because there's a fire in there. You see a fireplace more. In theory, that's the idea anyway. Let me know what you think. So I'm going to have a little check on the footage, see how long we're running on this one. And then I might do some more, or I might just kind of come back in a bit. Okay, I am so pleased with the way this has turned out. I think it looks really cool. It's taken me a long time though. I'm going to show you, I've left one wall here deliberately so I can show you what I've done, or how to do this, but so yeah, I think it's coming along really well. One thing I did do, which I'm sort of slightly regretting, that those windows are higher and this next window is going to be a bit higher than the back window. I could fix that. What I did do, what I added in, I actually took this whole wall out and this window out. This window, I did this effect with, but you can kind of just see, in order to make it feel again a bit more like a window, is that there is a reflection in there. It's a bit off, but I think it does kind of help create the idea that is a window. Let me know what you think about that. So what I did in order to do that was a bit like the mirror trick that it was in my tips and trick video. So I stood in the position where the window is, turned round, took a screenshot of that, and then in GIMP, image manipulation tool, a bit like Photoshop, then I flipped that image up the brightness, and made the opacity of it like 30% or something, so it just gives a reflection, so you can sort of see the bed there is reflected in that, and you can see here, maybe I could have done a little bit more of an opacity on this, but you can see the pattern of the bed there is reflected. It's not quite right because the reflections aren't quite in the right position. If you look, that is kind of more over to the right hand side there. But I think I was kind of happy with it. It came out as I thought. Maybe what I could have done was change the what's it called? The field of view. Maybe if I change the field of view for the screenshot, because I think maybe that's too wide. It's too wide a angle. Because that's brick there is obviously this brick over here. But I'm pretty happy with it. So what I've done is put the bed down, put a little rug, made this little kind of seating area here. As you can see, there's lots of pictures in this. I'm curious to see if anyone's actually going to buy it. And then I put this little. Actually, what I added since you last saw it was the pillars in the corners, which I just felt made it feel more like a log cabin. I put a kind of little divide in here between this sort of bedroom area and the kitchen area. It's supposed to be a log cabin, so it's supposed to be very basic. So that underneath is actually a safe, but I thought it kind of looked like it could be an oven. And it's just sitting on one of the tables with some gas bottles next to it. I'm going to put that on the stove top in a minute with a book trick. And then stack some stuff on the shelves, put this little table. This is actually two of the bedside tables butted up next to each other, which I'm probably going to have to move in a second. So let me just show you just before we kind of end this video and see if anyone's actually going to buy this crazy place. Let me show you. I'm going to try and show you without it taking too long, hopefully. So which one have I used? I've used the other one, didn't I? So what the trick is for doing this and getting it right. So this is obviously my customized image that I built in GIMP, game saving. Is in order to get that's the way around. In order to make sure I've got it looking realistic, the critical thing is basically that those panels line up all the way around, and that is key if you're doing bricks or you're doing tiles or anything that's a custom picture. It needs to look like it lines up. There's a few places where it's not quite lining up. I'd say generally because your eyes are drawn to the top of the room usually in rooms. The top is where it's most critical. Partly the reason why I did the pillars in, because that gave me a little bit more flexibility. But I think I've done a pretty good job of lining them up all round. So what you need to do that, and this is basically how you determine the height of the picture. So I can see just from holding that up, obviously it's not the right width and it's not the right height. I can see it's not the right height because I can see that top right corner, if I look at the size of that plank, doesn't match up to the size of that plank over there, if you see what I mean. So I know that I need to, firstly I definitely need to increase the width. So I'm basically just guessing this because I should really have been able to get the heights right. In fact, that looks like it might have actually been a pretty good guess for the width there. The way to check it is just to put it up there and see if you can move it either way. So I can't move it either way. The game has like incremental movement, so you can't move. If you look, the smallest amount I can move my mouse, this is not based on my mouse sensitivity or anything, this is the game, it steps me across. If you look at the left hand side, it's not allowing me to move within that space, it snaps to the next increment. That's obviously how they've built the game. So if I look up in the top right corner of this picture, it looks like it's pretty close to that plank, the depth of that plank. As I come further down the wall to the bottom of it, it looks like it's too small. So I'm going to carry on playing with that for a minute and just see if I can keep adjusting the height. Obviously I know I don't need to change the width now. And I'm going to keep fiddling with this basically until I'm happy that it lines up. So that's very close. It needs to go down a little bit now. 1.58 might be our magic number. It's close. I'd say that's probably it. Is it going to let me go up any more than that? So as I said before, I think these pictures are slightly wrong. I could have done a better job of making sure the window sits lower down on the wall, because it's not aligned with the big window on the other wall. But what are you going to do? I think I've played this house long enough, because obviously you've only seen this video, but as you can imagine, this is taking me quite a long time. So that's our window, and we can see the reflection. Pretty happy with that. That looks credible. They're all loving the fact that there's pictures, or that one person is anyway. And then I've made, and again, this is my original image that I downloaded with this wooden board texture, and then all I've done is just crop them, again in GIMP, just to make sure that I've got enough. So I know that each one of these walls, based on what I did over there, was whatever that number of boards is, 6 up there, and then so it's 10 in total. So what it does when you're as you do another painting, it remembers the height from the last one, so a height and the width from the last one. So I know I don't need to change the height here, but I need to change sorry, no, I don't need to change the width of this one, but I do need to change the height. I may have to, guessing based on the way it's behaving there, that I'm going to have to move the table. It could just be that I think it's probably just that this table is too close to the wall. So yeah, I've got a bunch of ideas for these sorts of houses. I'm not sure. I mean, I won't do this in the next house. I'll probably go a bit more conventional in the next house. But let me know what you think in the comments, guys, because I thought this might just be an interesting way to add some creativity to these early houses, because some of these early houses are quite limited in their scale. We're getting very close now by the looks of it. Limited in their scale and sort of limited by what you can do then. So I didn't want to do the burned house, because I felt that was way too similar to the where I've got the is it the abandoned house is the first one, isn't it? So this is basically just a lot of persistence. We're very, very close now. And figuring out how you can do things. That's actually one of the things I love about this game. So if we look on the right there where we see the other window, the other wall butting up, I'd say that's pretty good. So that is basically going to be our cabin. Let's put these back. So I think we're going to call that, oh, we've got the kettles put up there, so let's just do that real quick. Hopefully this episode is not running too long. So I showed you how to do this in the tips and tricks video, but I'll probably put a link to it. Let's see if we can get this right first time. So you need to book up a bit, and then I'm just booking over, and this probably won't work in the first instance because I'm filming or recording, and then the book's going to sit, the kettle's going to sit on top of the book, and then when I take this book away, look at that bad boy, there we go. So let's just do a little look around there without the HUD on. So if you didn't know that, that's a key you can bind. It's not actually bound to anything when you start playing the game, but you can bind the button to hide the HUD. So I think those look pretty good actually. I wish you didn't do the highlight when you did this with the HUD off, but I think this looks pretty convincing as a wooden hut, or a hut in the woods, cabin in the woods. So I'm going to probably go take a couple of screenshots, guys, and then I will bring you back for the sale. Right, so I think I've got enough screenshots. So I am really curious to see what happens here because obviously in this kind of RP idea that I had of building this log cabin, there is no toilet and there is no kitchen because none of this counts as a kitchen. It does have a cooker. I'm interested to see whether it thinks this room is a kitchen just because there's a cooker in there. I don't think it does. I think you've got to have units and stuff. So yeah, there's basically only a bed. There's not even a sofa, a bed and a table. So I'm not expecting to make much money out of this, and I have spent a fortune on the on the paintings. But let's see what happens. We have, this is ridiculous. Apparently this house has 6 rooms. Not in my world, it doesn't. So we have, you bought the house for £25,085.70. The house parcel is 957.97 metres squared. The house has 32.19 metres squared. And the house has 6 rooms. Yeah, it doesn't really anymore. The current budget is 55,000. Your current budget is 55,478. Is that how much I've spent? Oh god, I'm losing money. I'm gonna lose money. We have been working on this house for 14 hours though, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Right, let's see what happens. I want to rent this house because this has to 2 people, so it'd be great if they have a minimum of 2 bathrooms. There's no place for all my clothes. Well, they're still putting offers on. We obviously need to make 80,000. Oh dear. We need to make 80,000 to return a profit, if I'm reading that right. I love flowers, but I don't see any here. Perfect. 1 and only 1 bedroom. So she's offered 38,000. Hang on, so that isn't right, is it? No. Okay, so I haven't spent 25. That's how much money I had left. So it's only cost me 1,000. This isn't right, surely. It's cost me more than 1,000. Each one of those pictures cost me more than 1,000. I don't understand. So the house price was that. It's cost me 1,000. Apparently, it cost me 1,000 to renovate it. I've spent 1,400 on furniture. I've made £23,437,000 on furniture. What? So I will make £34,000 profit. I don't understand that. How have I made £3,000 worth of? I mean, I have bought some pictures and sold the pictures, but I can't understand how I could have made. Maybe it doesn't consider when you buy stuff. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, let's negotiate the offer. Let's just see if we can put. So what we at? House sale. Let's just see if we can put it up to by like £3,000 or something. Oh, let's do 5. See what happens. Negotiate. Come on, Veronica. Haha, no, get lost. Oh no! So she still. Oh, there's no penalty in doing that. You just lose the opportunity to do it. Okay, well we'll give it. We'll take it. We'll take the 38. Hurrah! So that is going to be. So we are up to 94,000. Yeah, boy. Let's have a look in the machine and see what our next house will be. So we've got a few options. We've got 94,000. I'm not going to do the burned house, but I might do. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys. I'm going to do one of these 2. The house with uninvited guests or the connoisseur's house. And we'll probably leave these a bit later. And then I might do something. Not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I might maybe move the office into that or something. I don't know. We'll see. Right, guys. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about the cabin. And yeah, hope to see you again next time. Take it easy.